In this tutorial, we're going to learn about the Inventor Fusion interface. The Fusion interface is organized like the Inventor interface. In the center of your screen, you've got the graphic area, and that's where most of the action happens. Here's the application menu. Here's where we create new documents, open existing documents. We've got the Save command, Save As, etc. On the right-hand side of this panel, we can show recent documents, or we can open existing documents. We have some options for the display: small icons, small and large images. Also, we have the option to sort the documents by, for example, date, size, type. Down below is the Options button. I've clicked on it, and here we can choose the render mode, software or hardware. We're going to learn more about that later on. Next, here's the Quick Access toolbar. I've clicked on the menu flyout arrow. Commands that are checked are visible on the toolbar. Unselect them to remove them, and select them to add them to the toolbar. Let's right-click on the Quick Access toolbar. We can add and remove separators, and remove tools from the Quick Access toolbar. Let's reselect this tool to restore it. We can also choose to show the Quick Access toolbar above or below the ribbon. This area here is called the ribbon. Currently, I've got 3 tabs visible: Home, Vault if you have it installed, and View. If you're working in a collaborative environment, you may have the Vault module installed. We've got some options for adjusting how the ribbon appears up here. We can minimize it to tabs, tiles, or panel buttons. Now, when I mouse over the Sketch panel button, we get a flyout of the sketch tools, and I can just click on one to activate it. Let's take a look at panel tiles. And same thing here. As I mouse over, the tools will fly out, and I can just select the one I need. The next button here allows us to minimize or maximize the ribbon. Right-clicking anywhere on the ribbon pulls up a contextual menu where we can customize the contents and the appearance of the ribbon. Show tabs, show panels. Let's unselect a couple of panels. If I right-click on any tool, I get the option to add it to the Quick Access toolbar. Tools are just as easy to remove from the Quick Access toolbar. Right-click, Remove from Quick Access toolbar. When you resize your Fusion window, the ribbon is automatically resized. Let's remove some more panels. I'm going to unselect the Manage panel. And now the sketch tools have room to be visible on the panel. On the left-hand side of your screen is the Fusion browser. Here we access model geometry, planes, axes, and so on. The bulb icon that appears to the left of the nodes indicates if an item is visible or invisible. If the bulb is yellow, then it's visible, and if it's not, then you've hidden the item. You toggle between hidden and visible states by just clicking on that bulb icon. Let's hide the solid. And let's show it again. Down below, we've got the Favorites panel. Let's close the browser. To open it again, go to View, User Interface, and select Browser. On the right-hand side of our screen are navigation tools. Up here is the View cube, and down below here is the Navigation toolbar. The View cube is used in Autodesk Inventor and AutoCAD, and it lets us change the orientation of our geometry or model. Let's take a home view. On the right of the View cube is a menu arrow. Click on it to launch the Properties dialog window. We're going to look at this in more detail in a subsequent tutorial. This toolbar here, docked on the right-hand side of our screen, is the Navigation toolbar. The top icon opens what's called a navigation wheel. And then we've got Pan, Zoom, Orbit, Look At, and Show Motion tools. Click this arrow to launch a contextual menu where we can choose which tools are visible. The checked tools are visible. We have docking positions as well. We can also specify the inactive opacity and the active opacity. let's say 100%. In the bottom right corner is the snap bar, and here we adjust the settings for snap to grid. Here we can select units of measurement. In the bottom right of the screen is the Options toolbar. We can toggle these options on and off with a left click. If the tool is blue, it means it's active. In the center at the bottom of the screen is the status bar. Fusion will communicate messages to us down here. Most of these options that I've talked about now are made visible and invisible via the View tab, User Interface. We check and uncheck items to show and hide them. We can also activate or deactivate transparency. And let's turn it off. Uncheck it. Let's take a look at the orthographic icon. This is where we can change the visual style. For example, orthographic, perspective, and perspective with ortho faces. Right next to it are view styles, shaded with edges, shaded. There's also realistic, wireframe, wireframe with hidden edges, and wireframe with visible edges only. Let's go back to shaded with edges. Each view style has its purpose. You'll find yourself alternating between view styles depending on what task you're up to. Let's change the background color now. Currently, it's set to white. We can also use a gradient. Click Apply to apply your changes. We can use an image and browse for it here. Or we can specify an environment type, gray room, dark sky, photo booth, tranquility blue, and so on. Let's go back to Solid. Apply and cancel out. The Visual Style panel also has effects tools. Let's check that out. Ambient occlusion, shadow, silhouette, floor reflection, anti-aliasing, and adaptive performance. I'll be demonstrating some of these later on in this course. The View tab also displays some navigation tools that we can access from that navigation toolbar currently docked over on the right here. Here's Pan. This is how you drag something in two-dimensional space. To unselect a tool, just left-click an empty space, or you can press Escape on your keyboard. A shortcut for selecting the Pan tool is to press your middle mouse button or the wheel. And to zoom in and out, you can use your middle mouse button or just the wheel on your mouse to scroll in and out. Anywhere that you right-click on the Fusion interface will provide you a content-sensitive menu or a contextual menu. The marking menu on top has got 8 options. Let's select Whole, for example. The ribbon updates accordingly, providing us with some of the options we'll need to develop a whole. If I right-click, I've got Cancel and OK buttons as well. To exit, just left-click an empty space, or you can click Cancel. Let's click Cancel on the ribbon now to get back to the View tab. So what you saw me do there was use the menu mode to activate a tool right from the markup menu. Another way to activate the tool is from marking mode. Let's right-click and drag down to the right. Release the mouse when you hover over Whole. So what happens there is that when I let go of the mouse, the tool that I dragged over becomes active. To exit, you can just press Escape on the keyboard. The content-sensitive menu varies depending upon where you click. Fusion's intelligence will suggest different options based on where you're at. To exit again, just press Escape. And you can click an empty space to deselect everything. This concludes our introduction to the Inventor Fusion user interface. Throughout this course, you'll have plenty of opportunity to see many of these tools and commands used in action.